Once again, live from Overton Stadium in Jackson, Tennessee, on the campus of the University School of Jackson, it's Bruin baseball, the second half of a twilight doubleheader, as the USJ Bruins take on the Lexington Tigers right after taking out Huntington 8-6 with a terrific rally in the middle innings and great clutch pitching by Nash Kilburn in relief. And starting off tonight for the Tigers, you'll have hitting first at shortstop Owen Foster. At center field, Jack Taylor. The catcher is Harley Allen. Hitting in the cleanup spot is Dakota Wadley, the right fielder. Noah Williams, the first baseman, is in the fifth slot. Number 6, Kendall Quince, the third baseman. Jackson Kaufman is the left fielder. And Ross McDaniel is the designated hitter, and hitting ninth is Ryder Blankenship, the pitcher. Judd Crownover is not in the hitting lineup, but he is playing second base. And we'll tell you all about the Bruins. Of course, they'll start the Kilburns, Nash and Max, Wyatt Scott, Maddox Rabin, Clennon Harden, Brooks Jones, Kurt Sammons, who will be on the mound for the Bruins here in the second half of the doubleheader, Corbin Howard, and Jackson Sills. We'll tell you where all they'll be playing when they come up to the plate. This game was supposed to be played at Union City between these two schools in a neutral site game, but the Union City field is unplayable at this point, and so that's why it has been moved here as part of a doubleheader. So stepping into the plate is the shortstop, Owen Foster. And we'll see how Kurt manages from the plate tonight, and we're underway with the first pitch, and it's a little bit low and inside, ball one. That was in the opener against Huntington, was one of those just old grunt and groan type games. You had a lot of grind on that, and falling behind 6-1, but then getting a good rally to make it 6-3, and then 5 runs in the fourth to win it 8-6. And the pitch, a little bit low, 2 balls and a strike. And it looks as though the sun is going to stay largely behind the clouds. The lights have been turned on here. And it's 3 balls and 1 strike. We're getting close to the 7 o'clock hour, and sunset is just about upon us. But the temperature is 71 degrees here at game time. That one's fouled off to the right. 71 degrees at game time. We have a lighter wind than we did in the opening game tonight, so it's not going to be as much of a factor. I want to get both of these in today, though, because tomorrow does not look too promising in the weather forecast. We've got thunderstorms that are predicted almost the entire day. Temperature is going to be in the mid-70s again tomorrow, and that one's high for ball 4. So Foster takes a walk to open the game. And here comes Jack Taylor, the center fielder. He'll be hitting left-handed. And we'll see whether Coach Brad Dyer sends him. Well, he was making a bluff as if he was going to go. That one was high for ball 1. Sammons looks the runner back and delivers. A little bit low for ball 2. But this is about, shall we say, compared to where we were on Monday night with the home opener, this is about 20 degrees warmer. And I think all of us enjoyed that. There are a few jackets and sweaters out, but I don't really see anybody bringing the blankets like they did on Monday night. This is just typical spring weather, and I think we all enjoy this when it comes to baseball. And coming out, having a conversation. Spencer Nelson and head coach Danny Giles, they really have stayed on top of things and did a great job in the opening game of keeping this team focused and settled down when they got 5 runs down. Runner on, the pitch. That one goes right down the middle for strike 1. And the pitch. And he tried to bunt it, and it went foul down the third base line, so the runner goes back. 2 balls, 2 strikes. This is more like when you play one of those classics that's not necessarily an elimination tournament, playing a different team in your second game of the day. And the pitch. The runner's going, and it's fouled. And that was one of those that hit the post over here, and it sounded like Big Ben. All right, yet another 2-2 pitch coming from Salmons. And Taylor awaits the delivery. Let's see if the runner goes again. They got him back at first. Took that dive back there and got back in. He's keeping him honest down at first. And once again, the 2-2. And slow curve inside, 3 balls and 2 strikes. And you can expect the runner is going to be moving with this pitch. And he is. And that one is a walk. Was low, went down beyond the catcher. And so, opening the game with 2 walks, Jack Taylor joins Owen Foster on the bases. And here's the catcher, Harley Allen. And Brooks Jones goes back down to just give some encouragement to Kurt Salmons. Nash Kilburn struck out 7 and Berkeley Pettigrew 6. Rather, like Kilburn struck out 8. Don't want to short him one. 14 Huntington players struck out at the hands of the Bruins in that opening game. Salmons delivers and gets the strike called. Got runners on first and second. This Huntington team is one that likes to run. Taking his time between pitches. And he delivers, and they are going to take off, and they're going to get somebody. Yeah, oh, he dropped it. Oh, my goodness. That would have been a sure double play, and first baseman, I think, was just a little bit too anxious and dropped it. But the pop out to the pitcher. So score that an F1, and Dakota Wadley, the right fielder, is there. Tell you what, the runner on second was so far down toward third that I think probably if Kurt had looked behind him, it would have been an easy toss to either the shortstop or the second baseman. Nonetheless, 1 out now and 2 on. Wadley's got potential power here, the right fielder, hitting in the cleanup spot. And it's low for ball 1. We've already seen that these 2 guys will have no hesitation to go if they get the green light from the coach. And the pitch. And he struck it. They tried to get it back. They were trying it. It almost hit the umpire. They tried to get it back at second base and got him back very, very quickly. Ball and a strike, 1 out, 2 on here in the first inning of play in the second half of our doubleheader. Bruins trying to stay unbeaten at home. And that one is going right down to the first baseman, who's going to step on the bag for out number 2. Give Rabin an unassisted on that one. Noah Williams, the first baseman, now checking into the batter's box. The runners advance to second and third. 2 out. Williams would love to be able to park one down the left-hander to try to park one down that right field line if he could. Just outside for ball 1. Got a good turnout here for this evening game. We expect some more to be trickling in. My good friend Paul Hutchison is here. Always good to see him, former umpire. Outside, ball 2. Just great to see all the fans coming out here now that it's springtime. Yeah, we're going to have a little more cold weather, but to enjoy this in an evening, it's a great way to spend time with your family, and I hope you do that if you're watching and couldn't make it out tonight. Well, ball 3. So a 3-0 count. This would load him up. Let's see if he tries to go right down the middle with it. He did. Got the inside corner. 3 balls and 1 strike. So Williams, the first baseman, waits on Salmon's pitch. Outside, ball 4, and so we are loaded. And it's been all bases on balls. Here comes the third baseman, Kendall Quince. And this would be a big one for Kurt Salmons to be able to pitch out of this jam in the first inning. Taking his time. Goes to the right-hander, and it's low and inside. 1 ball, no strikes. We don't expect the temperature to drop down below about 69. That one was one that he got around on too fast. 1 ball, 1 strike. Only expect the temperature to get down to about 69 when we reach the 8 o'clock hour this evening, so it's still going to be very, very comfortable here at Overton Stadium. Once again with the bases loaded and 2 down. And the pitch. And he didn't get the call on that one. Or did he? 2 balls and 1 strike. The runners taking their leads once again. And that one right down the middle, and it's fouled off out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 out, and the bases loaded. Well, the Bruins have to feel really good about that comeback victory in the opening game. They did not waver when they got down by 5 and just very patiently climbed the ladder back, and then it was great pitching in the last 3 innings. Here we go. The 2-2. And did it hit him? Yes, it did. Well, no, it looked as though it may have hit him, but apparently it bounced off, and it was a wild pitch, and that allows the run to score. That's Owen Foster, who came in on the wild pitch. Also takes away the force play at home. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Low and into the dirt, and so we are back to the bases loaded once again. 4 walks in the inning. The left fielder, Jackson Kaufman, standing in. Still good if he can just get him out of this one. And that's low and away for ball 1. Been getting behind the hitters here in the first inning, but they can get a tapper and get him at any base. And that one's low, 2 balls and no strikes. Nowhere to put Jackson Kaufman. And here comes Danny Giles out to talk to his pitcher. He's been struggling a bit, and as we say, four runners have gotten on with walks, and they're going to bring him out. So let's take a break while the reliever comes in to take his warm-up tosses. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
Carlac Prestige is not your typical used car dealer. We have everything from a Porsche to this, and lots more. We inspect and repair all our vehicles. Ask us to prove it. We will.
Carlac Prestige, Van Drive, Jackson.
At Arrington Funeral Directors, we accept all pre-arranged funerals. So you may have pre-arranged your funeral in this town with another funeral home or even in another state, but we accept all prearranged funerals because we're here to serve families.
At Dynamics Physical Therapy, we help our clients get back to doing what they love. Dynamics is now serving communities throughout West Tennessee.
It's Corbin Howard coming in relief, moving over from third base. So Kurt Salmons goes 2/3 of an inning, did not give up a hit, but he gave up 4 walks and a run. And just seemed to be struggling, didn't have his real good stuff this evening, and so we'll see if Howard can come in and get the final out. Bases still loaded. The count is 2 balls and no strikes. And the pitch to Jackson Kaufman, right down the middle for strike 1. We haven't seen Howard pitch at home during the course of the home season. There's the pitch, and he got way out in front of that one. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Big pitch right here that could end the inning. And here it comes. Outside, just missed. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So here comes the payoff pitch with the bases jammed. Howard awaits it. And he delivers. And got him out on strikes. Jackson Kaufman strikes out, and a clutch job of pitching out of that jam to hold him to only 1 run. So, in that top half of the first inning, Lexington with 1 run, no hits, 4 walks, no errors, and 3 men left on base. At the end of 1/2 inning of play, it is Lexington 1, USJ just coming into bat.
Thompson & Smith, the area's premier independent insurance brokerage, has been serving families and businesses in the region through its founding companies since 1927. With their many insurance company partners, Thompson & Smith provides insurance products for family, home and auto, contractors, retailers, restaurants, manufacturers, medical and dental clinics, as well as any other business or organization seeking quality coverage, risk management expertise, and customer-focused service. Call them today to discuss your insurance needs.
Are you looking to build a career? Build a career with West Tennessee's own H&M Company. H&M is a leading coast-to-coast industrial design and construction firm for Fortune 500 companies. Founded in Milan in 1957 and headquartered in Jackson, H&M is actively hiring in all areas of construction and engineering. Visit us at hmcompany.com to start building your career today.
Well, it was a clutch bit of relief pitching for Corbin Howard to get the Bruins out of that jam. Tigers leading it 1-0. At the mound for Lexington is Ryder Blankenship. And it is Nash Kilburn, who was our player of the game in the opener with his 8 strikeouts in relief of Berkeley Pettigrew, and also he was on base every time that he came up. Had 3 hits, and he was hit by a pitch. And the opening delivery, and a high fly ball that is lazy out there, and it's going to be taken by the left fielder, Jackson Kaufman. Out number 1, so Nash gave it a fair ride, but it just simply didn't have enough on it. And here comes Max Kilburn, the second baseman. And the pitch. That's a low one for ball 1. Max also had some solid contributions. He had 2 singles and scored a run in the opener against Huntingdon. That one's low for ball 2, gets away from the catcher. And the pitch. Outside, 3-0. And the delivery from Blankenship. Outside for ball 4. So he walked him on 4 consecutive pitches. So Max has been on the bases a lot here in the 2 games so far. Here's Wyatt Scott, the center fielder. And in the opening game, he had a double and a walk himself and scored a run. And Wyatt gets one, times it just perfectly, a line drive into right field. And some of the fans want him to go, that ball got away and wanted him to go on to third. I think he'd have been a dead duck if that would have happened. So, perfectly timed swing by Wyatt Scott. And here is Maddox Raven. And in our opener, Maddox got an RBI double. He also scored a run and got on base on an error. And he hit a sacrifice fly. So he did a little of everything in the opener. And that pitch is a bit low. No, he called it in there, said it was on the outside corner for strike 1. A little bit of delayed call. And that one is low and away into the dirt. A ball and a strike with 2 on for the Bruins, trying to sweep this doubleheader that they've had. And as we've said, this has been just a quality night to be out at the ballpark. There's the pitch. That's inside for ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. And you got Kilburn and Scott on the bases. And Maddox awaits the 2-1. And that one is going into, picked up by the right fielder. But he gets a sacrifice fly because he's moved the runner over to third. So Max Kilburn moves over to third, so you don't count that as an at-bat for Maddox. And here we go with Clennon Harden, the shortstop. Now with runners at first and third. I've had people ask me a lot during the years. Many people think that a sacrifice fly is only if it scores a run. No, if you advance the runner just as if it was a bunt that you sacrifice yourself, you don't have to be penalized with an at-bat. And that one is outside for ball 1. So you got one 90 feet away down on third base and another one on first. And he went after that one. He had a ripple at it. A ball and a strike. We've had baseball, softball, and soccer going on at the same time, and that one was hit off the chest protector of the catcher. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So much athletic action going on here at USJ this afternoon. Ball and 2 strikes. Big pitch coming. And that's tapped. And it's a fair ball. He's going to have to hurry. And he did not get him. And he's taking off to second. And you got the one on third. He's going to try to make it home. And he did not. Oh, my goodness. It was worth the gamble, but the Bruins managed to get 1 run in on that base hit by Clennon Harden on 2 hits, no errors, and no one left on base. So the score at the end of 1 inning of play, it's all tied up at 1.
For anyone contemplating pre-planning, we can tell you from our experience, it's much easier to make funeral plans and record them now than wait until emotions are running at their highest.
With pre-planning, you can free your mind and heart from having to make big decisions during a time of grief and instead enjoy the freedom to focus on the memories of a life well lived.
King Jewelers is not your typical run-of-the-mill jewelry store. Grover is a certified jeweler with 35 years experience. This isn't just a jewelry store. It's an iconic symbol of love. How far would you go for love? King Jewelers, 16B Conrad Drive, Jackson.
Well, the Bruins rallied to tie it up at 1. That seems to be a familiar anthem here because that happened Monday night in the game against Obion County. And the same thing happened in the opening game today of this doubleheader that we've had. They rallied to tie it at 1-1, and now you're going to see the designated hitter Ross McDaniel as the opener here. McDaniel is one who has a good bit of power. And you've got Corbin Howard in, who came in relief after 2/3 of an inning for the Bruins and managed to shut down Lexington with the bases loaded and hold the Tigers to 1 run in the first inning. McDaniel was way out in front of that one for strike 1. Howard usually on third base, and that one's going to be fouled out of play. 0-2, so quickly ahead of the hitter. As we mentioned, the Bruins struck out 14 Huntington hitters in their 8-6 win in the opener, 6 by Pettigrew and 8 by Nash Kilburn. Just a little low, 1 ball and 2 strikes. And we got this one started right about 3 minutes after 7 tonight, so probably looking at a game that's going to go until close to 9 o'clock. Outside, ball 2. After McDaniel, the pitcher, Ryder Blankenship, will be at the plate. And he delivers. High, ball 3. So after getting up 2 strikes, he's delivered 3 straight balls. And let's see how this one transpires as he gets ready for the payoff pitch to McDaniel. And that one is going to be deep to the shortstop. He's going to have to hurry. Big throw. And you hear how the crowd has responded. But he managed just to beat the throw that came from the shortstop Harden. So he gets an infield hit on that one. That was a great throw to try to cut that one off. But anyway, that's the first runner of the inning. And here is Blankenship, the pitcher. He's going to try to bunt. That's low, and they're not going to be able to get the runner. So give him a stolen base. That one bounced out in front of Brooks Jones, and he had just no chance of being able to pick up McDaniel on that one. Ball and no strikes, and he comes out to talk to Corbin Howard. So you take off the force play now. Blankenship, because of the low ball, achieved what he was trying anyway with the bunt. And yet he didn't have to give up an out. Hey, boy, they're chasing him back on second base. And let's see if that stays fair. No, it does not. That's one of those, if you're a third baseman and you're waiting on that one, it's a big gamble because sometimes they can just stop like a poached egg. But in this case, it went foul. Exactly what he wanted to have happen. Ball and a strike. And headed back down the line after a, shall we say, spirited run down to first base by Blankenship. Runner on second in Ross McDaniel. Oh, and the shortstop keeps coming back over there trying to bluff the play. That one is in there for strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Yeah, Clennon Harden is doing a lot of bluffing over there at shortstop, trying to keep McDaniel honest down at second base. Howard delivers, and that one is going to be fouled back up into the stands. Still 1-2. Bruins have 2 hits, and the Tigers 1. Tigers got their run actually in the first inning on no hits whatsoever because there were 4 walks that occurred. And the pitch. That again is a high fly ball. First baseman is under it and takes it. Maddox Rabin covers it. And that was a spirited at bat for Blankenship, but he nailed it for out number 1. That brings up for the second time the shortstop Owen Foster. He scored the run that the Tigers had in the first inning. He had a walk, moved to second on a walk, and then there was a fielder's choice, and then he scored on a wild pitch. And Foster takes it high for ball 1. Lexington's batters have been taking a lot of pitches here in the first 2 innings. And the 1-0. And that one is sharply hit into left field for a base hit. And they are not going, well, let's see. That ball was thrown into the dugout, and instead of hitting the cutoff man, it went completely out of play. And so that brings home Ross McDaniel with the second run of the game on the single by Owen Foster. So the Tigers take a 2-1 lead. Jack Taylor, the center fielder, coming up. And by the way, in the first inning, when Kendall Quince walked and brought in the first run, that counts as an at-bat. And he fires it over to first. Can he get him? That was a huge, huge play to throw him out at first. Nope. They're giving him a safe call. So we got runners now at first and third. That's another infield hit for Jack Taylor. So you've had 2 infield hits in the inning. And the pitch, and he's going to take off, and, it was off the pitcher's glove, and they're going to try to score, and they're going to make it. And safe back at second. Heads-up play back at second base to try to get the runner, but that scores yet another run. So Owen Foster comes in to make it a 3-1 game. Still just 1 out. Right down the middle, and they try to get it, and it's going to go into the outfield. That one bounced over the third baseman's arm, and they have scored. Jack Taylor on the error. That was a short hop throw, and so the scored as an error on the catcher. So 4 runs on 3 hits and 1 error by the Bruins. Here in the second inning, 3 runs have scored for the Tigers, and so we got a 4-1 game. And I'm going to try to settle Corbin Howard down a bit as Harley Allen, who flied out to the first baseman in the first inning in his second trip to the plate. And that's a high fly ball, and the second baseman is under it. And Max Kilburn takes it for out number 2. Dakota Wadley, the right fielder, and he grounded out in an unassisted play by Maddox Raven in the first inning. There's another high fly that is going into right field, and the right fielder is under it, and it is snagged by Jackson Sills for out number 3. But not before the Tigers picked up 3 runs on 3 hits, 1 error, and 1 man left on base. So the score at the end of an inning and a half, it is the Tigers 4 and the Bruins 1.
Turn to the experts. Since 1955, Garrett Plumbing and Heating has been the leader in plumbing, heating, and air conditioning service and installation for West Tennessee. A proud supporter of USJ Bruin Athletics, we are your local Carrier Factory authorized dealer. Call Garrett Plumbing and Heating, 668-3339, for all of your plumbing, heating, and air needs.
Ready for spring cleaning? Don't forget your HVAC system. Somebody needs to clean out all that dust and grime, and that somebody is us. Let McCoy's Heating and Air professionally clean your system so cool air can flow where it needs to go. Schedule now and you can get your cleaning for only $90. Call McCoy's Heating and Air at 731-668-7492 or visit airmccoy.com. McCoy's Heating and Air, Jackson's most trusted team of technicians.
Well, let's see if the Bruins can put up another rally as they did in the opener tonight against Huntington, winning 8-6. And Brooks Jones is going to try to start it, the catcher. And they're getting ready to whip that ball around the infield and get us started. Blankenship on the mound. Has not struck out anybody and gave up 2 hits to the Bruins in the first inning. So Brooks Jones up at the plate. And Blankenship delivers. And got it right down the middle for strike 1. And he's taking very little time between pitches. That one gets away, a ball and a strike. As we say, the opener was a bit of a grinder because whereas you had some excellent pitching in spots, it also was the kind of game that you had some long outburst innings in that 8-6 win that the Bruins had. They won their opener at home on Monday against Obion County. And the pitch. There's a high fly ball into right field, and he's chasing it back and gets under it and takes it for out number 1. There's a good crowd of people here from Lexington tonight. You can hear them cheering on their Tigers. And the left-hander, Kurt Sammons, who started out as the pitcher tonight, he's up to the plate. And that one was inside for ball 1. Kurt just struggled in that opening inning and gave up 4 walks. Just didn't have his really good stuff tonight, but stays in the game. That's high for a ball. 2-0. And here comes Coach Dyer coming out, as well as the catcher going out to talk to Blankenship. They've obviously seen something that they feel like they need to tell him about. And Danny Giles comes out to talk to Kurt Sammons. Back in the opening game tonight against Huntington, Sammons had a 2-run single and a sacrifice fly, so he brought in 3 runs. He also flied out. 1 for 2 in the opener. And the pitch from Blankenship. And he gets it right down the middle. 2 balls and a strike. Very comfortable evening here in West Tennessee. And that one is going to, let's see if the shortstop can fire it fast enough. And he does. Just did beat Salmons on the throw. That was hit pretty sharply and deeply, and he had to actually make a turn to be able to get that throw, but managed to knock out Salmons at first base. So here's Corbin Howard, who's been on the mound now since two were out in the first inning. And the pitch, that's another high fly ball that's looking like it's going right to the right fielder, and it does. So you had 3 flyouts in that inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on base for the Bruins. So at the end of 2, it's Lexington 4, USJ 1.
We offer live webcasting for families. It kind of came out of when so many warriors were going overseas to war. We have learned to offer families more choices, that we want to serve our families well and serve our families better.
Buying a home is a major milestone, and at the Bank of Jackson, we want to help you achieve it. Our mortgage specialists can assist you with conventional, VA, FHA, or construction loans, as well as USDA and THDA development loans. Serving the Jackson area for 25 years. The Bank of Jackson, your down-home community bank. You belong here. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
And we do appreciate the Bank of Jackson and our good friend Gary Grisham and his fine staff for sponsoring Bruin baseball, as they do with so many sporting events across this area. And we thank them immensely for that. In fact, if you happen to be by that way, drop by and tell those folks you appreciate that, particularly if you're a USJ fan, because they're the ones who make this possible. On our live streaming network, the BallGame Blitz Sports Network, powered by Worthy Road Studios. And it's Noah Williams up. He walked in his opening appearance in the plate. Corbin Howard still on the mound and delivers. And just a bit high for ball 1. Tigers 4 runs on 3 hits. The Bruins 1 run on 2 hits. And Howard fires and gets one right down the middle for a ball and a strike. And there's one that is, let's see if it's going to go to, then there you go. Nice running catch on the part of Wyatt Scott for out number 1. That'll bring up Kendall Quentz, the third baseman. He walked in the first run that Lexington had in the first inning. It was a bases-loaded walk, so you give him an RBI for that one. And that one goes right to on the bounce, a one-hopper, and nice job of picking that one up by the third baseman and out at first. So score that one 5-3, and here we go with Jackson Kaufman, the left fielder. And that one, it looked as though for a second it was going to maybe go over the screen and perhaps we'd say get the net out and grab it, but it didn't. I remember how Ernie Johnson used to do that all the time on Braves broadcasts. Get the net out! And here's your 0-1. That's going right back on a one-hopper to the mound, and he tosses calmly over to first base, and he gets them 1, 2, 3. Nice job of pitching in that inning by Corbin Howard. So it was no runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on base. End of 2.5. And the Bruins are trailing the Tigers 4-1.
Dynamics Physical Therapy, your elite provider in sports medicine and performance. Now serving communities throughout West Tennessee.
The most important benefit when you buy from Jones Chevrolet at Three-Way? Peace of mind. Jones Chevrolet's warranty forever comes with every qualifying new and pre-owned vehicle. Powertrain coverage for as long as you own your vehicle. Find out more at Jones Chevrolet in Three-Way.
Want to say hello to all of the grandparents, aunts, uncles, and cousins and siblings of these players tonight for both teams. If you don't live in Jackson or couldn't make it here to the ballpark tonight, we are so thrilled that you're with us here on the BallGame Blitz Sports Network. And here we go. We're back up at and swing and a miss for strike one. Charlie Redden at the plate. And that's outside for ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike to Redden. And the pitch. Inside. And he went around. He's going to ask the umpire on that one. 2 balls and 1 strike. Asked for help down the first base line on that call. We're in the bottom of the third from Overton Stadium, and that one's low and away for ball 3. So this would be a solid way to begin this inning to get Charlie Redden on. And the pitch fouled back. 3 balls, 2 strikes. We got a full count with nobody on and nobody out here in the third inning of play. But it'd be a perfect time for the Bruins to have one of their patented rallies. And that one is tapped to the third baseman, and he fires over to first for out number 1. That will bring up Nash Kilburn again, the left fielder. Nash flied out to the left fielder his first time up. Bruins have only been able to navigate 2 hits so far, one by Wyatt Scott and one by Clennon Harden. And they're going to go out and talk to the pitcher again, Blankenship. The catcher, Harley Allen's going to have a conference with him. And they're settled on everything, and here we go. Nash is a real spot hitter. He can find the open pockets in the infield and the outfield, and is a terrific line drive hitter. And taken on the outside corner for strike 1. But he's always a dual threat in so many ways. And that one got him on the corner again. 1 ball and 2 strikes. No balls and 2 strikes, pardon me. I was trying to give him a little gift there with that extra ball, but they haven't called that yet. And the pitch. And that goes off the catcher's knee. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Nash had himself, what a game he had, striking out 8 Huntington Mustangs in the opener, and he did that in relief. And the pitch. And that goes right back to the pitcher, and he's going to have to hurry to see if he can get him. He fires, and he can't get him. It gets away from the first baseman, so Nash is going to stay on first base. And that will bring up Max Kilburn, who walked and scored a run in the first inning. But give Nash an infield hit on that one. And here's an opportunity for the Kilburns to do some damage here. And that one's inside for ball one. No, he said he caught the inside corner for strike one. It looked like that was very, very close from our vantage point. But the umpire is right on top of it. My friend Paul Hutchison, who's here tonight, would say, don't second guess the umpire, and gets him for strike two. The reason Paul tells me that is because he was one, and he took a lot of grief from people over the years. The 0-2, and let's see what happens. They're trying to get it back in the box. Going to second and to first. He did not get the double play. So Max manages to beat the throw at first. That was a real gamble, as you could imagine, trying to get that one with a slow roller. So the force play at second, and Wyatt Scott, the center fielder, he had a single and scored. No, he was thrown out at the plate. Single was thrown out at the plate in the first inning. Ball and no strikes, and Max Kilburn down at first. And the pitch. That one's going to be fouled out of play. Ball and a strike. When USJ made its rally in the opener against Huntington, they bunched a combination of hit batsmen and base hits. They had 4 base hits in that 5-run inning, and they had 2 hit batsmen. They go to first and not in time. Got away from the first baseman anyway. So even with 2 out, they'd love to be able to bunch some together here and be able to narrow this gap of 4-1. So far, 3 hits in the game for the Bruins. And that one tapped foul. A ball and 2 strikes. The difference in the game, 3 runs in the second for the Tigers as they lead it 4-1. And here we go with the 1-2. And that one gets away from the catcher, and there's no way that's going to be a pass ball. No way you're going to stop Max Kilburn on that one. So he is at least in scoring position with a 2-2 count. And Blankenship will try to shake that one off. And let's see what Wyatt Scott can deliver. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 out in the third. That one's low. Full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes. And you can probably expect that Max Kilburn is going to be moving with this pitch. And he patiently awaits Blankenship's delivery. And that's low, ball 4. And it gets away from the catcher. And he got in there ahead of the throw. Nice heads-up base running by Max Kilburn. It was a gamble, but he managed to make it. So he gets third on the fielder's choice, and Wyatt Scott with the walk. Maddox Rabin, who had a sacrifice fly. He can't have one here because we got 2 out, but he had a sacrifice fly in the first inning. And he's got teammates on first and third with 2 out. Blankenship delivers, and the strike. No balls and a strike. Maddox always a threat. He can hit to all fields. And that one right down the middle for strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes. He takes a couple. I guarantee you, if he sees his pitch right here, he is going to be driving it hard. The 0-2 from Blankenship. Low. And the runner's going to advance to second. again, another pass ball that sends Wyatt Scott. And so that takes away a force play at second. And here we go. A 1-2 count. They're on second and third, both in scoring position. And the pitch. And caught him looking for strike 3. So for the Bruins, they made a threat, but it didn't result in anything. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 men left on base. And the score at the end of 3 remains Lexington 4, USJ 1.
Home furnishings, appliances, bedding, and so much more. Kaufman's. At the Bypass and Oil Well Road in Jackson. Home furnishings for every room in your home. Custom upholstery options too, with professional advice. Major appliances from America's top name brands. Mattresses and bedding accessories. Outdoor living and grilling too. And our fully stocked warehouse helps prevent supply chain delays. Kaufman's, for your life.
Are you looking to build a career? Build a career with West Tennessee's own H&M Company. H&M is a leading coast-to-coast industrial design and construction firm for Fortune 500 companies. Founded in Milan in 1957 and headquartered in Jackson, H&M is actively hiring in all areas of construction and engineering. Visit us at hmcompany.com to start building your career today.
Corbin Howard back on the mound, getting ready to start his 3rd inning for the Bruins. He came in with 2 out in the 1st inning after 4 walks were delivered to Lexington, and had a solid 3rd inning after giving up 3 runs in the 2nd. Ross McDaniel, the designated hitter, who singled and scored in the 2nd inning. We're in the top of the 4th. And that one right in the outside corner for strike 1. McDaniel is more of a pull hitter on this Lexington team. And went after that one way out front. No balls and 2 strikes. Corbin gave him his real good stuff on that one. 0-2 pitch coming. And got him swinging on that one. And that is the first strikeout. That's actually the 2nd strikeout for Corbin Howard. So the pitcher, Ryder Blankenship, is back up at the plate. Blankenship flied out to first base in his 1st appearance. And it may happen again. High fly ball, and it is again finding the glove of Maddox Rabin for out number 2. So we got Owen Foster coming up to the plate. Owen has walked and singled, had an RBI single in the 2nd, and he has scored. He scored actually on a stolen base of home in the 2nd inning, scored on a wild pitch in the 1st inning. So Foster is always a threat, and that one just outside for ball 1. Curved a little bit outside the corner. And Howard delivers strike 1. 1-1. He has retired 6 consecutive batters in the game now, so he's really settled down after that 2nd inning. And steps out, takes time out. Boy, don't you know, in Major League Baseball, they're having fun trying to determine about how much the pitch clock is affecting them, and also about batters stepping out. You can't do that as much as you used to. High fly ball to center field. And under it, and taking it one-handed, Wyatt Scott for out number 3. So, once again, no runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left on base for Huntington. And 7 consecutive Tigers have been retired, and your score at the end of 3.5, it's Lexington 4, USJ 1.
Championship DNA. That's what you find at Jones Chevrolet at Three-Way. A full line of new Chevrolets plus West Tennessee's largest used car inventory. State-of-the-art service work and pre-approved auto loans online at JonesChevroletHumboldt.com. Shop with a winner. Jones Chevrolet at Three-Way.
Downtown is thriving and the Blacksmith Restaurant is leading the pack. From the rustic dining room to the unmatched patio, eating local with family is what we're about. Live local, eat local, relax local.
Football looks fun. I bet I would have been great at it. The first football playing Deer, they would have made a movie about me and everything. Probably get Kurt Russell to play me. But alas, me and my dreams run right over again.
For fast, reliable collision repair, trust the experts at Mitchell's Body Shop. And get back out there.
Glennon Harden, the shortstop, as we start the bottom half of the fourth inning. And Blankenship's delivery. He has scattered 4 hits in the game. That one was fouled out of play. Harden got a single and an RBI in the first inning. Bruins threatened again in the third, but weren't able to get him home. And so there's strike 2. They managed to get 3 men on base during the third inning and just couldn't get anybody home. And the pitch. That one is going to be a slow roller to the third baseman. He's going to have to fire to the pitcher, and he does. So that one's 3-1. Heads up on the part of Blankenship to get over there quickly and take the throw. Brooks Jones, the catcher, he flied out to right field in his opening appearance. Brooks got on twice in the opener against Huntington with a walk, and he was hit by a pitch. And that one's low for ball 1. And again, the key for a pitcher like Blankenship is trying to stay ahead of the hitters. He's shown no signs of really tiring out here as we are in the fourth. 2 balls and no strikes. He's had 1 strikeout tonight. Kurt Salmons is on deck. That's 3-0 as that one got away from the catcher. And Blankenship set to deliver. And he got that one right down the middle for strike 1. 3 balls and a strike. Corbin Howard would be after Salmons if somebody gets on base here. And that one's right down the middle again. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Brooks was taking that one all the way. And here comes the payoff pitch. Blankenship not wasting any time, and he delivers. Outside for ball 4. Brooks very patient on that at bat, so draws a walk. That's the 3rd walk given up by Blankenship, and here is Kurt Salmons, who started the game as a pitcher and then went back over to third base. Runner on first, and that one was just got around on it too quick, and it went foul. Well, if he had had that one just a little bit later than that, that one potentially could have been a triple. Once again, taking his lead is Brooks Jones, and that one goes down in the dirt, and he's going to get down to second on the pass ball. So the Bruins have one in scoring position with 1 out, and Salmons has a 1-1 count. And again, just looking for the spots. This would be perfect. They're trying to bluff him over at second base right now. And that one's outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. We've had no score since the Tigers got that 3-run spurt in the top of the second. And that one's going to fall down into center field for a base hit. Let's see if he tries to score. They're going to send him home. No, that was a great throw, but excellent job of base running. Jones stays at third, and Salmons manages to get all the way to second on the throw. So that's a single and a fielder's choice. The fourth hit for the Bruins. So Corbin Howard, who's been on the mound since we had 2 out in the first inning, and he's set to come up, and they're having a conference, and it looks like Blankenship is going to leave the mound. He gets a hand from the fans who are here. He's going to come over, and it looks like Blankenship's going to go to first base. And they're going to bring in to pitch Dakota Wadley. No, that's not Dakota. I'm looking at my wrong sheet. Yeah, it is. That's Dakota Wadley. So Wadley comes in to pitch. Blankenship's going to stay in the game. And while he takes his warm-up tosses, let's take 30 seconds for this timeout.
This could be a true story. On October 3rd, a 2003 hatchback struck and killed a deer that goes by the name Buck. I know, right? He now has Buck's head proudly displayed on his living room wall. He tells a different story.
Shot it.
No, he didn't.
And to hide his lie, he took his car to Mitchell's body shop.
No, I didn't.
Yes, he did. And lucky for him, they made it look good as new. And as for Buck, the story continues.
Dakota Wadley coming in from right field to pitch. And we haven't seen this youngster so far this season. But Brad Dyer's always had a very strong relief staff. Now here's Corbin Howard. He flew out to right field his first time up. And this would be huge for Corbin to be able to help his own cause right here. And that one is fouled up behind us. 1 strike, and we got runners at second and third. He could poke one out there. There's a big gap out there in left center field. He could poke one out there, and that's exactly what he did. It drops in, and 1 run is in, but they're not going to get the second one. That was a big throw. But Corbin makes it all the way to second base on the throw to the plate. So Corbin with an RBI single, and he goes to second on the fielder's choice. And that brought in Kurt Salmons. So it's a 4-2 game now, still only 1 out. And here comes the pitch. And Redden fakes the bunt. Somebody called time before he had the opportunity. The umpire called time before he had the opportunity to. It'll be interesting to see if he is bluffing the bunt and then actually tries to fire and hit it. And the pitch. That's fouled off to the right for strike 1. But Bruins have 2 more in scoring position. A base hit would likely tie this game. Redden takes the pitch and swings. That one's a bit low. No balls and 2 strikes to Charlie Redden. Nash Kilburn would be next, and Nash singled his last time up. Charlie takes the delivery from Wadley out inside for ball 1. 1-2 with 1 out. And you don't have a force play on the bases. And the pitch. And he went after one that was outside for strike 3. That is only the second strikeout for the Tigers, but that was a clutch bit of pitching on the part of Dakota Wadley. And that one, and they say he did not go around. 1 ball. They asked for help by the infield umpire, and he said no. Wadley delivers. And that's a high fly ball that's into short center field, and the center fielder makes the big run and takes it. Taylor was on his horse, and he managed to come down with it. So the Bruins threatened and did manage to come up with 1 run on 1 hit. Now, let me take that back. That was 2 hits in that inning and a walk. No errors and 2 men left on base. And our score at the end of 4, it is the Tigers 4 and the Bruins 2.
Do you want your smile to say it all? At Elite Dental Care, we'll make you and your family feel comfortable and secure with a variety of services and state-of-the-art care. We offer sedation dentistry that will make your time in the dental chair comfortable and relaxed. Come by and see our newly renovated and expanded office in Jackson or one of our other convenient locations in Trenton or Dyersburg. Trust your smile with Elite Dental Care and let your smile say it all.
Are you looking to build a career? Build a career with West Tennessee's own H&M Company. H&M is a leading coast-to-coast industrial design and construction firm for Fortune 500 companies. Founded in Milan in 1957 and headquartered in Jackson, H&M is actively hiring in all areas of construction and engineering. Visit us at hmcompany.com to start building your career today.
Corbin Howard back on the mound for the Bruins, and he'll face Taylor, Allen, and Wadley here in the top half of the 5th inning. Bruins made a small dent in it to cut it down to 4-2 in the previous inning. And the pitch. And he got him straight down the middle, a little bit high, but he got him straight down the middle, so Taylor takes strike 1. Taylor has had a walk, and and that's a high fly ball that is going to be in left field, and just in front of the center fielder, Nash Kilburn, pulls it down for out number 1. And that'll bring up the catcher, Harley Allen. He has had a fly out to the pitcher, and he's flied out to second base. And once again, this has been a solid job of relief all the way across the board for Corbin Howard. After he had that shaky second inning, he has managed to retire 8 straight Tigers. And the pitch from Howard. That one curves a little bit outside for ball 1. 4 runs, 3 hits, no errors for Lexington. 2 runs, 5 hits, and 2 errors for the Bruins. And another high fly ball that's going back to the center fielder. Takes it one-handed. Wyatt Scott snagging that for out number 2. And if Howard manages to get Wadley, his counterpart on the mound, to manage to retire him, that would be 10 in a row that he has set down. That one goes into the dirt for ball 1. And even though we are well into darkness, a little bit after 8 o'clock here as we're doing this game live, this is absolutely perfect baseball weather tonight. You couldn't ask it to be any better. And that one is going to be over the mound. Let's see if the shortstop can throw him out. Nope. That was really a rough one to try to get there. We're going to give him an infield hit on that. That would have been almost a monster play if Maddox Rabin could have come up with that one, and he had to really rush that throw. So we'll give Wadley a base hit. It's only the 4th hit of the game for the Tigers. but it's how they bunch together those 3 runs, and they're going to, let's see if they're going to make any kind of a change here. They came over to talk to the umpire, but I haven't seen anything as far as a change is concerned. Noah Williams, the first baseman, he reached base on a walk in the first inning and flied out to center field. 0 for 1 on the night. 1-0. And low once again. 2 balls and no strikes. And the 2-0. Just outside. 3 balls and no strikes. This is a crucial pitch here for Howard. And that one is going to get between the shortstop and the third baseman into short left field for a base hit. So they have bunched together 2 straight singles. And that's going to bring up Kendall Quince, the third baseman. He has walked and grounded out third baseman to first. This is a crucial hitter for Howard to be able to get with 2 on and 2 out. And these 2 base runners have reached after 2 were out early in the inning. Howard looking back to runner at second, and that one's going to go foul. No balls and a strike. And we have been here pretty close to 4 hours since we started the opening game at 4:30 this afternoon, so it's been a pretty long one. That one was a very slow rising curve, and that went upward for ball 1. A ball and a strike with 2 out, and runners at first and second. Howard, let's see if he goes fastball here. That was up high. 2 balls and a strike. They're playing it. They don't need a double play, but they're playing it about that kind of depth because they can get a force play everywhere except at home. And nice job. That one dipped in. He went for it. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Quince waiting the pitch, and here it is. And struck him out. Second strikeout of the evening for Corbin Howard. And so for the Tigers, they had no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. So we're coming up on the bottom of the 5th. The Bruins trailing Lexington 4-2.
Tired of going to the dealerships only to see empty spaces? Then come to Carlock Nissan of Jackson. We have over 60 new vehicles in stock and more coming in daily. You can see, feel, and of course smell that new car smell. Save up to $8,600 off MSRP on a new Nissan. Plus, special APR financing as low as 1.9%. It's all at Carlock Nissan of Jackson. You should already be here.
Fleet Feet, your locally owned source for the best shoes for school, work, running, and everyday comfort. They offer a 3D scan of your feet and professional fitting. Fleet Feet sells the top-selling brands Hoka, OnCloud, and Brooks. To add comfort to your spikes or other performance shoes, let Fleet Feet fit you for a pair of arch support inserts. Get the quality you want and the service you deserve at Fleet Feet in Jackson on Oil Well Road beside Walgreens.
Coming up on the bottom half of the 5th inning at Overton Stadium. Been a good afternoon and a good night for baseball. No rain. We had a largely overcast sky in the opener, and the sun would peek in and out and at the early stage of this game before it got dark. And there you go. There's the drive, and let's see, that's going to drop into short left field for a base hit. So Max Kilburn gets it going right off the bat. First pitch single. And that brings up center fielder Wyatt Scott. And here's the key thing, is trying to bunch together combinations of hits as they did in their come-from-behind victory over Huntington in tonight's opener. And the pitch. Oh, boy, was he going for one there. Scott was looking at the fence on that one. Wyatt has singled and he has walked. Not scored so far tonight. That one's well outside. I think that was almost a pitch out because they were looking to see if Max Kilburn was going to take a dash down to second. Scott with a 1-1 count. Dakota Wadley in relief. No, not even close there at first base. Dakota Wadley in relief of Ryder Blankenship, who went the first 3 innings. Actually, he went 3 1/3. And here's the pitch. And that one is going to go right to the second baseman. So Scott with a slow little flyer to Judd Crownover, who's playing over at second base. So here comes Maddox Rabin. He's had a sacrifice fly, and he was caught looking in the 3rd inning. That one's low. Nope, they say he went around on that one, so it's 0-1. Sometimes the ump in this game gives us a bit of a delayed call. And the pitch. Slow curve that just goes right down in there. Beautiful pitch by Wadley. No balls and 2 strikes. Runner on first. Bruins trying to battle back from 2 down. And the pitch. And that one is going to go straight up, and it looks like the first baseman is under it and snags it. So he's been able to get him on these infield flies, and that's 2 down. Clennon Harden, he had a RBI single in the 1st inning, grounded out first baseman to pitcher in the 3rd. Oh and 1. This would be one you'd love to see Clennon tee off on one right here. Hitting in the 5 spot for the Bruins. And that one's going to go right through the pitcher, but they may be able to step on second, and indeed they do. Excellent play by the shortstop, Owen Foster, as he steps on second. So that shortstop unassisted. And Bruins got a hit, but couldn't bring anybody home, and so we're at the end of 5, and it is Tigers 4, Bruins still 2.
Mention BallGame Blitz Sports Network and receive a free gift.
Ready for spring cleaning? Don't forget your HVAC system. Somebody needs to clean out all that dust and grime, and that somebody is us. Let McCoy's Heating and Air professionally clean your system so cool air can flow where it needs to go. Schedule now and you can get your cleaning for only $90. Call McCoy's Heating and Air at 731-668-7492 or visit airmccoy.com. McCoy's Heating and Air, Jackson's most trusted team of technicians.
So the warm-up tosses around the infield have wound up, and we're ready to start the 6th. Lexington, with the 3 runs in the second inning, have held tight to this 4-2 lead, even though the Bruins have held them to 4 hits and have had 6 hits of their own. And they're going to have a conversation again with Corbin Howard out at the mound. And scheduled up is Jackson Kaufman. He's the left fielder. He struck out in the first inning, and in the third, he grounded out pitcher to first base. And Corbin, after having, as we say, a shaky second inning, he has really settled down and done a tremendous job in relief. And so here we go. And the pitch. Nice job. He chased one outside for strike 1. Kaufman 0 for 2. Ross McDaniel would be next, and then the pitcher, Ryder Blankenship, at least the original pitcher, Ryder Blankenship, after that. Strike 2 as he went around too quickly. No balls and 2 strikes to Kaufman. And here comes Corbin with the delivery. And got him looking. That is the 3rd strikeout for Corbin Howard. And ever since he gave up those 3 runs in the second inning, he has scattered in this game 2 hits. That one low and away. 1-0. This is Blankenship, who moved over to first base. No, this is Ross McDaniel, pardon me. He's the designated hitter. And that one's a high fly ball in foul territory. Let's see if he can get under it, and he did. Excellent run and great concentration to snag that one for out number 2. Now that brings up Ryder Blankenship, the original pitcher for the Tigers. And he is still their pitcher of record. He stands to win the game if the Tigers hold on here. And that's a high drive into center field and over his shoulder, picking it up. Another great catch by Wyatt Scott on the run. So that was a very quick 1-2-3 inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on base. So we have completed 5.5. It's still Lexington 4, USJ 2.
Carlac Prestige is not your typical used car dealer. We have everything from a Porsche to this, and lots more. We inspect and repair all our vehicles. Ask us to prove it. We will.
Carlac Prestige, Van Drive, Jackson.
At Arrington Funeral Directors, we accept all prearranged funerals. So you may have prearranged your funeral in this town, with another funeral home, or even in another state. But we accept all prearranged funerals because we're here to serve families.
At Dynamics Physical Therapy, we help our clients get back to doing what they love. Dynamics is now serving communities throughout West Tennessee.
Well, this is the time, if you're a USJ fan, you want to see a big rally coming up here in the 6th inning. And it starts with Brooks Jones, the catcher, who has walked and flied out to right field. Bruins trailing it 4-2, and that one's a hard hit ball to the third baseman, fires long to first for out number 1. So Brooks didn't have an opportunity to really show us anything there because that first pitch was right on the money to the third baseman. So that brings up Kurt Sammons. Started the game on the mound. Kurt so far in the game has had a single and scored, and also he flied out to the shortstop. Swing and a miss for strike 1. This has been a game sort of highs and lows when it's come to the pitching, and that one gets away from the catcher, and it looks as though he was hit. And so Salmons gets to start a rally here with being hit by a pitch ball, and so here comes Corbin Howard, who has done so well in relief in this game. Unfortunately, if the Bruins can't rally, he would lose. And there's a high drive that's going to center field. Can he get under it? Quick run, long run. And they get back to first base just barely. No, did they call him out? They called it a double play. No, they don't. We were fooled by that because there were some people that were running away, and it looked like the whole team was running off the field. Almost snagged him for a double play. But getting back to first base was Salmons, and so here comes Charlie Redden once again. And he thought about taking off for second, but he's going to go back. Didn't get away from the catcher far enough. Charlie Redden so far has struck out and grounded out third baseman to first. That was a slow one, and that was tap foul going down the left field line. Ball and a strike, 2 out here in the 6th. It's getting late for the Bruins, but there's still time. Pitch to Redden, and he tapped that one foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. I think that was very, very close to hitting the wrist of the catcher, and those things smart. I've had many catchers tell me that over the years. You don't want to have one to hit you in the wrist. Bruins 2 runs, 6 hits, and that one is going to be right to the second baseman. Timing his move perfectly on that one was Judd Crownover, and that is the end of the 6th for the Bruins. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 man left who was a hit batsman. So as we go to the 7th, it is the Tigers on top of USJ 4-2.
Thompson & Smith, the area's premier independent insurance brokerage, has been serving families and businesses in the region through its founding companies since 1927. With their many insurance company partners, Thompson & Smith provides insurance products for family, home and auto, contractors, retailers, restaurants, manufacturers, medical and dental clinics, as well as any other business or organization seeking quality coverage, risk management expertise and customer-focused service. Call them today to discuss your insurance needs.
Are you looking to build a career? Build a career with West Tennessee's own H&M Company. H&M is a leading coast-to-coast industrial design and construction firm for Fortune 500 companies. Founded in Milan in 1957 and headquartered in Jackson, H&M is actively hiring in all areas of construction and engineering. Visit us at hmcompany.com to start building your career today.
Well, as I say, Corbin Howard, the fact that it's going to take the Bruins to rally to keep him from being the losing pitcher in this game, but it's not indicative of how well he has pitched since the 2nd inning. That one gets away from the catcher for ball 1 because an error cost them 2 unearned runs in that 2nd inning out of the 3 that the Tigers came up with. So let's see if he can nail them down here in the 7th and give the Bruins 1 more shot at it. That's high for ball 2. He has struck out 3 so far. And as we mentioned, he has scattered 2 hits since we got down to 2 out in the 2nd inning. And there's your strike, 2-1. And here comes Corbin's pitch. A little bit high, 3 balls and a strike. Getting him up a little bit here in this 7th inning of play. Owen Foster, the shortstop. He is 1 for 2. He's had a walk, and here you go. That's a high fly to right field, and what a fine running catch, having to almost bend down to nail it. was Jackson Sills, but it's a long out. Jack Taylor, the center fielder, is up. He has singled and scored, and he has walked and flied out to left field. So he's 1 for 2 with a run. And Howard has really delivered 5 1/3 strong innings. That one goes well foul beyond the folks that are sitting over on the third base bleachers. Howard started the game tonight at third base. And here's his pitch. And that one's a little bit high. A ball and a strike. 1 out, nobody on. And we are in the 7th. And he delivered. That's a long drive to right field. And that one is all the way back to the fence. It didn't get out of here. He's going to get a stand-up triple. Well, he didn't stand up, but he slid in for 3. That one was a huge drive by Taylor. So with 2 out, pardon me, with 1 out, he's now a big threat just 90 feet away, and here comes Harley Allen, the catcher, who has flied out 3 times tonight. And for insurance runs for Lexington, all he would need is to get a fly ball to any of the fields. And that one was a slow floater for ball 1, a bit high. And that would give them a 3-run lead if he delivers a sacrifice fly. No, he said it was high. 2 balls and no strikes. That one was a close one. Howard came in relief, and that one is fouled down the first base line. Howard came in relief of Kurt Salmons. Kurt worked 2/3 of an inning, gave up only 1 run, but walked 4 batters, and Brad Dyer felt like that he just needed to take him out. Wow! That one was sliced just over the head. In fact, having to duck away from that one was Jack Taylor. 2 balls, 2 strikes. You see one of those coming at you like a bullet, and you are going to dive if you, any way that you see it coming at you. All right, the pitch to Allen. 2-2. And there's a high fly ball. That's probably going to bring home another run. The center field, and yeah, they're going to have to cut this one off. So perfect job of fly ball hitting on that one as Harley Allen with the sacrifice fly to center field to bring home Jack Taylor, and it is a 5-2 lead now for Lexington. Dakota Wadley, who is now in at pitcher, he's had a single, he's had a ground out, and that one is one that is going to drop. He's going into first base with a base hit. So that's Wadley's 2nd consecutive hit on the night. He's 2 for 4 in the game, and here comes Noah Williams, who is 1 for 2. He has walked and singled. Bruins badly need to get a force play here. And there's a high fly ball that is going to be the center fielder taking it. So Wyatt Scott snags it, and that is out number 3. So they got 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We got to go get 'em Bruins. The score at the end of 6 1/2, Lexington 5, USJ 2.
For anyone contemplating pre-planning, we can tell you from our experience, it's much easier to make funeral plans and record them now than wait until emotions are running at their highest.
With pre-planning, you can free your mind and heart from having to make big decisions during a time of grief and instead enjoy the freedom to focus on the memories of a life well lived.
Well, we got to see if we can get about 7 or 8 guys up in the lineup now. It'll start out with Nash Kilburn and then Max Kilburn and Wyatt Scott the way the game started tonight for the Bruins. Nash has a single and 2 flyouts. Bruins trailing 5-2, and the fans want them to get at least 3, but they'd be happy to go home with 4. They're going to have to bunch them together. And here's the pitch. There's a drive going into right field, but it's right to the right fielder. Nash gave that one a ride, but it just didn't go deep enough, and so that brings up Max Kilburn, who has been on base every time tonight. He's had 2 singles and a walk and scored a run. And the pitch from Wadley is down low. 1 ball, no strikes. Bruins 2 runs, 6 hits, 3 errors, and the Tigers 5 runs, 5 hits, no errors. And that one is going to be to the shortstop. Can he get the long throw? Too high. So that was a bang-bang play as far as trying to get that one, but we'll give him a hit. That was going to be a tough one to be able to get Max on that, so we'll give him an infield hit. And so he is 3 for 3 officially because one of them was a walk. 7th hit for the Bruins. Wyatt Scott, the center fielder. Wyatt with a single, a walk, and a flyout. 1 for 2 tonight. And the pitch by Wadley. And that one's tapped off his foot. That is not one that's fair. It went off his foot. And I can tell you, any batter will tell you that smarts if you foul one off your foot. So he's walking it off. Ball and a strike. Bruins trying to make a late rally here in the 7th. Now, this game has been played in about an hour and a half so far. All right, the official makes sure that everybody knows what the count is, and here we go once again. And the pitch. And, boy, that one curved away from him. Strike 2 to Wyatt Scott. Maddox Rabin would be next. And the pitch. Inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Boy, Kilburn would love to take off for a second right now, but they don't want to gamble on a stolen base that could be actually a throwout. And the pitch from Wadley. High fly ball. That's going to center field. And he is under it and takes it for out number 2. And so the last hope for the Bruins is Maddox Rabin, the first baseman. He had a sacrifice fly in the first inning. Struck out in the 3rd and flied out to the first baseman in the 5th. To keep this going, Maddox has got to get one here. And the pitch. And that one is sliced into right field for a base hit. And that is going to send Max Kilburn all the way over to 3rd. Nice job of timing that swing by Maddox Rabin to get his first base hit of the game. And so Clennon Harden, who is 1 for 3, he had a single and an RBI in the first inning. They're on 1st and 3rd, 2 out. Bruins trailing by 3. Wadley delivers. Inside, and it gets away, but it's not so far that they could bring the runner in from 3rd, but in this case, Maddox goes down to 2nd on the pass ball. Ball and no strikes. That takes the force play out of it. And the pitch. Low for ball 2. Clennon, again, he's a very patient hitter. And inside for ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes with runners at second and third. He's fast right back to the pitch, and it is low. No, they called the strike. It was just on the outside corner. 3 balls and 1 strike, and the pitch. And that one is going to go beyond. It's going to go into left field for a hit to bring in another run, and the runners are going to be on the corners. Clutch base hit for Clennon Harden. That brings in Max Kilburn. Maddox Rabin has gone to third. Brooks Jones, he's 0 for 2 tonight. He's flied out, grounded out, and he has walked. And this is big right now. 5-3 game. And the catcher comes back. Harley Allen having a conference with Dakota Wadley. And here we go. They're on the corners with 2 out. And the pitch. Curve that is just a bit outside. 1 ball and no strikes. And they're going to come out and talk to Wadley. And it looks like they're going to switch pitchers. Yeah, he's calling in his shortstop. And if it's who I think it should be Owen Foster that's coming in to pitch. So Foster's going to take some warm-up tosses. Let's take a 30-second break, and we'll be right back.
King Jewelers is not your typical run-of-the-mill jewelry store. Grover is a certified jeweler with 35 years experience. This isn't just a jewelry store. It's an iconic symbol of love. How far would you go for love? King Jewelers, 16B, Conrad Drive, Jackson.
Owen Foster is the third pitcher of the night for Lexington. And he comes in now with a 1-0 count on Brooks Jones and runners on the corners for USJ. You've got Maddox Rabin at third. And you've got Clennon Harden at first. And this has been somewhat of a roller coaster of emotions in this game, but the Bruins are making a rally here with 2 out. Max Kilburn started it with a single, and he came in to score on a single by Clennon Harden, and then Maddox Rabin has moved over to third base after a pass ball. So here we go. Brooks Jones. If he could lay one out there into left center field and let it go all the way back to the wall, that would be a huge one. Here's the pitch. Let me tell you, this guy's got a good fastball, but it was low, 1-0. That's 2-0. Yeah, he came in with a 1-0 count. Jones trying to be very patient. Foster trying to get the save. And the pitch. That's low. No, they called a strike on the inside corner. Again, this umpire sometimes gives you a bit of a delayed call on that one. 2 balls and 1 strike. 2 out for the Bruins. 2 on. And the pitch. And that one gets away from the catcher. 3 balls and 1 strike. So you get a walk, and it's going to be all jammed for Kurt Salmons. The 3-1 from Foster. And strike on the corner. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The payoff pitch is coming. This is big for both teams. The 3-2 from Foster. And there's going to the shortstop. He's going to have to go long to first. And he stretched out and got him at So it's a 5-4 game after that brings home Maddox Rabin. It's a bang-bang play down at first base, but boy, they'll take it anytime. So that we still got runners on first and second. Infield hit for Brooks Jones and the RBI. Here is Kurt Salmons. And the Bruins fans are really up and ready for this one. Salmons fouls it back. Runners on first and second. Now you could lay one in the gap out there in right center field. This game would have a possibility of being over. As a high fly ball. Left fielder is under it and takes it, and that is your game, set, and match. Kurt gave it a good ride, but it was right in the easy vicinity of Jackson Kaufman. He snags it, and your final score is Lexington 5 and USJ 4. 5 runs, 6 hits, 1 error for the Tigers, 4 runs on 5 hits and 3 errors for the Bruins. We'll be back to wrap it up right after this.
Turn to the experts. Since 1955, Garrett Plumbing and Heating has been the leader in plumbing, heating, and air conditioning service and installation for West Tennessee. A proud supporter of USJ Bruin Athletics, we are your local Carrier Factory authorized dealer. Call Garrett Plumbing and Heating, 668-3339, for all of your plumbing, heating, and air needs.
Ready for spring cleaning? Don't forget your HVAC system. Somebody needs to clean out all that dust and grime, and that somebody is us. Let McCoy's Heating and Air professionally clean your system so cool air can flow where it needs to go. Schedule now and you can get your cleaning for only $90. Call McCoy's Heating and Air at 731-668-7492 or visit airmccoy.com. McCoy's Heating and Air, Jackson's most trusted team of technicians.
Well, it was a real threat in the 7th inning, and the Bruins had 2 men on base. And for Kurt Salmons, he gave it a good ride to left field, but the left fielder was only about 6 steps away, snagged it, and that ended the threat. And the Bruins dropped one to Lexington 5-4 after winning their opener of the doubleheader tonight against Huntington 8-6. In this one, this was really a game that had several ups and downs. Most of the damage that was done by Lexington was in the first 2 innings, in which they were able to bunch together some hits, particularly enough and they only sent 6 guys to the plate in the 2nd inning, but that was enough for them to get 3 runs on 3 hits, and it was just hard for the Bruins to climb that ladder. They rallied and got a run back after trailing 4-1. They got a run back in the 4th to make it a 4-2 game. In the 7th, it was one of those that just simply they gave up a triple to Jack Taylor, and then Dakota Wadley, the opposing relief pitcher, managed to get a single and ended up giving them 5, and so we came back over in the 7th inning of play, and they bunched together some hits once again. In fact, they had 4 singles in that inning that scored Max Kilburn and Maddox Rabin, but they couldn't get that 5th one across to send it to extra innings, and your final score was 5-4 Lexington. And for the Bruins in that game, it was, of course, the winning pitcher in the game was Ryder Blankenship, who went 3 2/3 innings, and he held the Bruins to 3 hits during his time in the contest. The loser, unfortunately, was Corbin Howard, who I can't say enough about his pitching. He had to come in relief 2/3 of an inning into the game, and Corbin did a solid job across the board after giving up 3 runs in the 2nd. He struck out 3 and managed to scatter 4 hits the rest of the way. But unfortunately, sometimes it was just really a good combination pitching job on the part of Lexington, and they managed to eke it out 5-4. A couple of final notes on the game. Nash Kilburn, who was our player of the game and the winning pitcher in the opening game against Huntington. Nash had a single. Max Kilburn was on base 4 times in the game. He had 3 singles and a walk. Wyatt Scott, he delivered a single and a walk. Maddox Rabin had a single and ended up scoring a run in the final inning. Clennon Harden with 2 hits in the game, and he had 2 RBIs. And then Brooks Jones, he contributed an RBI along with a single and a walk. Kurt Sammons had a single and scored. He also was hit by a pitch ball. Corbin Howard ended up with an RBI single in the 4th inning. So there was a lot of contributions from the Bruins, but it just wasn't enough to get them over the hump in this nightcap of the doubleheader as they fall in this one 5-4 after defeating Huntington 8-6 in our opener. Well, I wish the following one for you USJ fans could have been on the victory side of things, but hey, there's another one scheduled tomorrow, but I trust that you'll check your weather forecast because tomorrow it looks like there is some significant bad weather, and I'm talking about thunderstorms headed our way because of the warmth that we had. We're looking for a temperature of about 75 degrees, but it appears that we are going to have some pretty rough weather that could put the game in jeopardy. They're going to put a tarp on this field and hope for the best. But just be checking your favorite weather location tomorrow to try to find out what it's going to be like at scheduled game time. So that wraps it up. The Bruins split a doubleheader tonight. If the weather permits, we'll be back out here tomorrow afternoon. If not, we'll see you next week with more USJ Bruin basketball. I'm still hanging on with the NCAA tournament. My director, Christopher Reasons, he's over there giving me encouragement that, okay, we're in baseball here, not basketball, even though the NCAA tournament, I'll go home and see the late game tonight. Anyway, it was you got to say, anytime you can split a doubleheader, it's a good night. And so we had some good things to happen. It just wasn't enough in the second half. Until we are with you on our next telecast, on behalf of our entire crew that is led by our ever-cool, ever-present director, Christopher Reasons, the executive producer of Worthy Road Studios is Paul Schultze. Our camera, Eric Inman, and also on our other, we had 5 cameras out there tonight, Roger Bates, Bill Simmons, Frank McMean, and Patrick Sweeney. They were all on cameras tonight. And yours truly, Steve Beverly, behind the mic. And so until we're with you again on our next telecast, Steve Beverly saying, hey, come back to see us every chance you get, and so long from the great hub city of West Tennessee.